So today our topic is habit change. So what is the thing that's very important in our life is we're all creatures of habit. So what every day we go through different activities and 80% of them of our habits. So when you wake up in the morning, you just go, you brush your teeth, you take a bath, and you eat. It's like it goes on in a cycle, right? Usually. And what we can do is we can actually change those habits. So let's say for example, if you want to learn some art or you want to start exercising daily, you will have to create a habit in order to sustain it, right? The thing is, our brain
Yes.
is it's like a plastic mold. It can change as long as you do some stuff. We'll discuss about them. Our brain can actually change. So the thing is, it will start like this. When you're creating a new habit, it's like building a bridge. Imagine if this is the one bank and this other bank of a river. This is where you are, and this is where you want to be, right? So what you
Hmm.
have to do is you need to create a connection from here to there, and you will be building this bridge using neurons. Neurons in the beginning, it's like you build a wooden bridge, and then later on you use some concrete, and later on you use building steel. So in the first 22 days, it's like a wooden bridge. It's there, but it's weak, and in another 22 days it will become more solid, and after 66 days it's like a concrete bridge, and it's very easy for you to do that habit, you to do exercise. Like after 66 days it's like it's easy to exercise than not to exercise. That's how concrete it becomes a part of your day. So what's here in the screen is it's about neuroplasticity. How does this thing work? What I was talking was the all those things, the neurons. It's something called synaptic activation. When you have a strong and frequent activation, what happens is synaptic is nothing but some input. You're getting some input and it's getting activated. There are neurons. Whenever you do something new, there are neurons that fire together. They wire together. What happens is they build a bridge, right? So whatever happens is when there's a strong and frequent activation, if you're doing it daily and regularly and you're spending some time, there is some difference in the synaptic structure. Even the neurons change and they build connections. And what happens is, if I'm teaching you every day, it's not enough. Like once I teach you, it's not enough. It needs to be learned again and again. Every single day, you need to reinforce it. That's where reinforcement and practice is so important for habit change. So when you reinforce this habit again and again, finally these all these neurons they wire together. It becomes a bridge, and you can actually change the shape of your brain to your new habits. So Einstein was you might have heard he has a big brain because he was studying numerous new topics. His brain's size started increasing. Like actually, there are new neurons growing every single day in our brains. It depends on the novelty of the subject. If you have never done this thing, then only you will attract new neurons. And if you have, and the same is true for the if you want to break a habit, if you want to stop eating sugar or something like that, if you want to break a habit as well, if you want to reduce social media, it's the same thing. Social media already has a bridge in your mind. You need to break that bridge. And when there is weak
Yeah.
activation, the synapse doesn't change. And don't forget about all the technical terms. I think the gist of what I'm saying, right? Your brain can change basically.
Yeah.
You need to believe it can change.
Yes.
Only
Yes.
when you believe it, when you understand, like when you understand the science behind your behavior, it's easy to trust yourself. Like
Yeah.
you will say, what happens is most of the time we give up very easily. We think it's not happening, it's something very hard. Something like
Hmm.
exercise is hard, something like yoga is hard, meditation is hard, journaling is hard. But the thing is, aren't doing it. There aren't many consistent and frequent activations in our brain so that the neurons are starting to work. After 66 days, it becomes your second nature. It's true because when I started working out for the first 2, 3 months, it was really hard. But after that, it was better to work out than not to work out. That's how it works. Okay. So, and the next
Yes.
thing I want to talk is the habit installation protocol. I hope it's clear, right? You can see it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This is from 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. In this, what he says is after 22 days, the first stage is called destruction. What is destruction? You are actually doing a lot of stuff because there's no foundation, there's no base for the habit. it's so much, there is so much resistance to do that. In the first 22 days might be very hard, really hard, because you're actually taking neurons and you're building them up, and you can imagine how difficult it is to build a bridge with there is no base. And once you have that wooden base, what I was talking about in the example, the river example, once you have that wooden base, you can then move on to installation. What's installation is, you're actually doing that habit regularly and you're getting used to it. And the third part is integration. According to the science, it takes 66 days where you will reach that automaticity point where you don't have to like push yourself. Like, do you understand? You don't have to. There is not much resistance. It becomes very easy for you to do those things. And so once you reach that automaticity point, everything is much easier. Like after you do it for 66 days, it's much easier. But the question is, how do you maintain for 66 days? Like it's so hard, right? Like any habit, if you want to make it stick, it's so hard because 66 days is a big time. It's more than 2 months, almost greater than 2 months, right? So do you have any ideas how you can make it stick? No?
What about
Mm,
motivation?
maybe as you cultivating as a part of your schedule, though like you're pushing yourself for those 66 days, isn't it?
Willpower,
Yeah,
willpower, and
willpower, you
scheduling.
can say.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing with willpower is it's often not very successful. Willpower, you might have so much willpower, but after 2 3 days, that motivation doesn't kick in. You don't get there, right? So that's why we have these things for. We'll discuss next. This is something. We'll talk about this later. You need to start with changing your identity. Let me explain. The thing is, we're always looking at the outcomes part, right? We want outcomes, we want results, right? But we often forget about the process and we don't even know about the identity. Many people don't know that there needs to be identity change for the process to work, for the outcomes to come. The outcomes might be getting in shape. The process might be going to gym. But when it comes to the identity, you need to start to identify as a person who goes to the gym, right? Then only you can change. Like if you think I'm not someone who goes to gym, but I'm starting, it's hard, and it's hard to continue and sustain it. But when you are like going to gym is a part of me, my identity identifies with going to the gym. I identify with someone who meditates. You can just say I meditate, I go to the gym, and when you reinforce this identity by making small decisions every single day, your identity changes into someone who goes to gym. So it gets much easier. It's not in conflict with your previous identity, right? Whenever you're changing the behavior, you're basically changing your identity. So when you want to change your identity, you need to understand the process and make sure you make decisions that are reinforcing your new identity, whatever you want to become. You want to become a fitter person, you want to become a more calm person. So you tell yourself that you're a calm person and you do things that a calm person would do. Like, are you getting what I'm saying? When you identify with a calm person, you'll automatically behave like a calm person. When you identify with a gym going person, you automatically behave like a gym going person. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I'm getting.
So, in the same way, let me tell you another example, a counter example, so you will understand this thing better. If there's a smoker, if he's smoking regularly and he wants to stop, and he's like,
Mm.
I'm trying to stop. But if he says to himself, I'm trying to stop, when someone asks him, what are you doing? Like someone asks him to smoke, he'll say, I'm trying to stop. They're like, yeah, you're always, you're already smoking, right? It's not a big deal. Just have like, then his mind is very susceptible to idea that he's still trying and is not over there. So he'll fall back into it. But once you've established that, I'm not a smoker. If the guy says, I'm not a smoker, I won't smoke anymore, and he's very sure with it, and if someone asks him what's the status of his, like if he wants a cigarette, and he'll immediately say, "I'm not a smoker," and
I'm
thus,
not a smoker.
thus he'll
Yeah.
avoid falling into the pitfalls. In the same way, when you're going to the gym, if you think I'm trying to go to the gym, you will be trying and you won't go. But if you're like, I am going to the gym already, I'm a person who goes to the gym, you will go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so identity change is really important. Like it's like you should be conscious of the change. Then only you can make the process. And of course, you need to be of course you need to be very understanding of the process. And don't forget about the results. Like it's easy to say forget about the results, but you should only have a mechanical measurement of what do you say results. Don't be attached to the results, don't be emotionally attached to your results, but you should definitely track your results. It's not a bad thing to track your results, actually very good thing to track your results, but don't be attached to the outcomes. Be attached to the identity, be aggressive with your process, but forget about your outcomes, just be mechanical with them. They're just like numbers, right? Okay. And yeah, let's go to the next chart. The next chart is okay. Everything is good. We changed our identity. We fixed our targets. We know everything. We know about our brain, our neuroplasticity that we need to work 66 days. But how do you sustain it? Like, how does our brain work actually? How does one habit? How do you like make the habit your own habit? The thing is, our brain works like this. It looks at a cue. What is a cue is? Anything like if I look at a nail cutter, I want to cut my nails, so this nail cutter might be a clue, right? If I look at a water bottle, I want to drink water. See, when I look at a water bottle, it's a cue, right? Then I feel thirsty and I'm craving water now. Then my response is taking this bottle and drinking the water, and then my reward is my thirst is quenched, right? Did you get the habit loop? Like any habit, any habit has this cue, craving, response, reward cycle. So when you understand this cue, craving, response, reward, you'll understand why cues are so important. What are cues? Cues are in the environment. They're just there. So if you're pasting a schedule on your wall, then it's a cue to do the things. If you're having an alarm, it's also a cue to do that thing, right? If you're having someone call you up, it's a cue for you to do it. And when you see something, you have a craving to do it. And I'll explain it how this thing works even better. This is just a circle, and then you will do the response. The craving is you wanting to do it or not wanting to do it in some cases. If you don't want to go to the gym, the response is you won't do anything and you won't get the reward, and it's just your laziness of your brain to avoid you from doing unnecessary work. But if you want the reward, you need to do the response, and then only you'll get the reward, right? And let me tell you how this thing works in more detail. Just a sec. Yeah, 1 second. Are you getting what I'm saying till now? If you have any doubts, you can ask. Just want to show you a graph where talks about dopamine spikes. Yeah. Yeah. See here, what happens is for the first time, when you are doing some new activity, there's a cue, there's a craving, there's a response, and finally you get the reward. Like if you're ordering something new on Swiggy for the first time, you look at the order, you look at the queue. I mean, you look at the picture that is very delicious. You look at the name that's very lucrative. You'll have a craving to eat it, and then you'll do the response. You'll order it, and the reward you will get is when you eat it, you will get a dopamine spike. What is dopamine? Do you know? Do you guys know what's dopamine? No.
Yeah. I guess
Mm.
it's in chemical.
Yeah, it's a chemical. It's called the feel-good chemical, the happiness chemical. The
Mm,
thing you get after you eat sugar, the thing you get after you watch a
mm,
good movie. That's a dopamine spike.
yeah.
There's a hit. So this is your brain, and this is dopamine spike when you get the reward. What happens, what's funny is the second time you do it, if you're ordering biryani for the second time, the first time you ate, it's very good. In your life, the first time you ate biryani, it's really nice. You'll get the reward. In the second time, what happens is after you start you look at the queue, when the craving is there, the dopamine hits automatically. You just look at biryani and you're satisfied. Like you'll have that thing. You want to eat
Yeah.
it and it's really good. And then you'll order it anyway still. Even if you're satisfied, you'll order it. And after eating that, you'll get only a small spike. You'll be like, okay. But when you're ordering it, you're excited. Like, can you relate? You're
Yes.
very excited when you're
Yes,
ordering
yes.
it. But
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
actually you're doing it, even just the thought of ordering it and eating it is even more exciting than eating itself.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I can relate.
yeah, yeah. And then what happens is, if you keep doing it regularly, if you keep ordering biryani every single day, there will be a decrease in the spike,
Hmm.
and you won't like it doing it. You won't like eating biryani. So what happens is in case of biryani, it's different. In case of social media, because in case of food, there's a limit. There's a physical limit. But in case of social media, let's take an example. Social media. If you're getting a like, you get a reward for the first time, and next time you'll be uploading the photo, you'll have the craving. And after that, if you get one like, you're not satisfied, right? Before you got one like, you're very happy. But now, if you get the
Hmm.
same like, you're not satisfied anymore. It's not doing the thing anymore. Then you want to
Yeah.
do something more. You want to have more followers. You want to have more likes. When you get those more likes, it's already in depression zone, right? You're not in a good state. You're doing it too much. You're abusing your dopamine system. You're doing it too much, and then what happens is you have to do it even more to get that spike. After you do that so much, then you will get the final spike that you want. then
Yeah.
again then again what happens is when you look at the queue, then it starts craving, and then it starts like, that's how our brain works. I'm just explaining this because any new habit, it will be same. Because when you look at the reward, it's good when you go to the gym for the first time, and then there's a crave. This works better with bad habits. Like, I'm not sure, like, and even with good habits, if there's a disappointment, you won't get it, and you need to do more, like with running, with meditation, even with journaling. These are some things, those usually don't have potential downside. Like, there is no deeper valley in it. Like, you won't fall into depression. That's a good thing, because it doesn't give you a craving in the beginning. Like, you don't want to crave writing. It's a hard thing to do. You want to go to gym, even though you know you'll get a reward, the craving is less. So you should give it some other reward, extra reward, and you should have a cue that will push you to do it. And I will explain what can be your cue. And the craving is usually less because the response is hard, right? Like, hitting on an Instagram button is easier than going to the gym, right? The response is hard here. Whenever we are doing something, we want to do the hard response. So what you do is you increase your cues, you increase your rewards, then the craving comes because you added extra reward, so you will do the response. It's like tricking your
Yeah.
brain, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'll explain how you can do it. We have more slides. We're done with this, right? And then it's just automaticity. It's the same thing. In the beginning, I showed you the habit instance protocol, right? You keep doing it again and again and again, and that it becomes automatic. And yeah, I want to explain this. This is called the plateau of latent potential. What happens is when we start the thing, this is what you think it will happen. You think that this will work like this. You think it's a straight line, like you'll keep improving again and again and again, right? Like, it will get easier and easier and easier. But it's not that actually that happens. Results won't come. Like, when you go to the gym in the beginning, you won't improve every single day. For the first month, you won't even see a single difference in your body, and you will get demotivated. This is called the valley of disappointment. You can see here, right? Like, this is the same thing with many people. Meditate for 5 minutes for 10 days and say, I'm not getting any results. People write journal for 5 minutes for 15 days, and they say, I'm not getting any results. Yes, the more consistent you are, the results, what happens is, when you cross this valley of disappointment, when you forget about what should happen and you're actually concentrating on the process, this will happen. At one point, the result will start showing up so quickly you will understand that this is happening, this is real. So, but the thing is, we never know how much time it will take. It's different from person to person, different from thing to thing. That's why you need to stick to the habits and cross this valley of disappointment. Yes, there will be disappointment when you start a new habit. You won't get the results in the beginning. But once you cross this point, you will get exponential results. See how great it's going. Like even the gym, after you hit 6 months of gym, I'm telling you, in the seventh month, you will see results. You will be amazed. Like you will be amazed by your strength. You will be amazed by your endurance. And it's totally crazy in case of gym. Same with meditations. I meditated for 1 year before I could actually see the results. 1 year. And now I meditate for 1 hour every single day. And it's amazing. It's as amazing as it can be. So that's how you should cross the valley of disappointment. So you will be thinking, how do I cross this valley of disappointment? Right? So for that, you can do is what this thing, we'll talk about this later. Yeah, habit stacking. What's habit stacking? So you're already doing some things in your life, right? You already have some established habits like brushing your teeth or taking a bath or something like that, like watching TV, reading news, whatever it is. In a particular time, you already have a habit, right? Some habit. So what you will do is you take a new habit and you add it to it. How you will do it is, after there's a first habit, you wake up, you have a craving to brush your teeth to feel fresh, and you go brush your teeth, and you have the reward of a clean, fresh mouth. And what you do is immediately after brushing my teeth, I'll go do some exercise. That's the second habit. So what happened is the reward of your last habit is acting as a cue for the second habit. And this thing will take some time. And you can even add more habits, but I suggest 2 habits. For one old habit, add one new habit. And take one habit at a time. After 66 days of doing this, like adding brushing to your this, like it sounds very simple, it sounds very easy to do, but the effect is phenomenal. Like you won't think there's so much change in your behavior, you won't understand. But the first 2-3 days, you'll have to use willpower and you'll have to do it, and then it becomes very easy. Every time you brush, every time you have a fresh mouth, you will feel like working out. That's how you can trick your mind into stacking habits. And after, you can see, after working out, I'll go take a shower. After shower, when you feel fresh after sweating so much on the workout, you want to meditate. So that will become a cue for your third habit, and so on. You can add more, but I suggest maximum 2 habits and 3 habits. And in the evening, you can add even more habits. Like after having your snacks, I'll journal, like something like that. Whatever your ideal habit is, you can start. But pick up one habit at a time and do it. And what you can do is, there are 4 laws that James discusses. Like, how long has it been? Do you want me to continue? Has it been too long?
No, you can continue.
Yeah. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying?
Yes. And what you're saying, this habit stacking is really cool.
Yeah, it's powerful. Actually, it's really powerful. Like when you start doing it, you will see the benefits of it. And I say you take some sticky notes like this and you stick them anywhere you can see. Like after I brush my teeth, plus I'll do my workout. And you can write, after I take my bath, I will meditate, and stick them where you can see, like wherever you sit in your room or somewhere. That will be really helpful. Like it will act as a visual clue for you, and it will act as a reinforcer, right?
Yeah.
And also, this thing is really important, but we will discuss it another day. It's related to it, but yeah. And this thing is, what happens is, 1% every day is my rule. Like that rule, if you try to follow it, if you do 1% better for every single day, it's like 0.1. The improvement is incredible. After one day, it's like so much improvement. But if you do even 1% worse every single day, it's not that bad actually. You can see here, right? If you're doing it one improvement every single day, if you're doing 1% better than the previous day, after 1 year, you'll get exponential results. But even if you're doing bad, it's okay. So you don't have to be so hard on yourself, but you should always try to be 1% better than the previous day. That's what you need to, like 1% better is if you meditate today, that's 1% better, right? If like you start a new habit and you do it for
Yeah.
some days, and eventually after 66 days you can start a new habit. I'm saying take it one thing at a time. Think about what's the most important thing. And I say exercise. Like I'll suggest exercise. If you're not already doing it, I will suggest going to the gym or doing some home workouts or doing some yoga. I will say something physical in the beginning because the benefits are more tangible, right? You can see that, okay, I'm feeling better, I'm sleeping better, and you immediately see results and you will want to continue. But once you do this, once you start working out after 30, 40 days, you will see that you're getting consistent after 66, 70 days, you're there. And you don't have to think about working out again. Then your mental space is freed up, you can start another habit, right?
Yeah. That is cool.
And mm, yeah, I think we covered everything, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, except this. I'll talk about this some other day. This is about making the
Yeah.
day good. This is about I'll talk about it some other day. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, four laws of James Clear. He says that make it easy, make it satisfying, make it sim. 1 second. Make it easy, make it satisfying. James Clear four laws. I forgot. It's mostly from this book called Atomic Habits. Whatever I'm talking, it's mostly from Atomic Habits. So you should definitely check it out and even buy it and read it so that you can do understand it better. Like because he gives so many good examples that you really like it. You'll really enjoy reading this book. Like yeah, first is make it obvious. Like like already what I was talking was like making it obvious, like using sticky notes or using something else, and then make it attractive. How do you make it attractive? What you can do is every single day when I work out, after 5 days, after 5 days, I will get to eat something I like, or I'll buy something I like. Like you add rewards to your thing that will make it more attractive. Make it easy. So if you want to work out for 45 minutes a day, start with 5 minutes a day. Like it might seem less, but if you at least if you're putting on your shoes and going on and doing it for 5 minutes, you'll definitely do it for 20 minutes. Like you won't stop at five, but just keep in your mind, I'll just do it for 5 minutes, and you go there. It becomes easy, right? And obvious is, I told you, the first law is obvious, second law is attractive, third law is easy, four is satisfying. How can you make it more satisfying? You can join people, like you can have join who are already having the same behavior. That will make it more satisfying because you can tell them and they'll appreciate you and you'll get some encouragement. That will make it even more attractive. Two and four are like, if you can do the same one thing, it will help both of them. Like if you're adding a reward, it's more satisfying and it's more attractive. If you're joining people who are already in that behavior, it becomes attractive. Like how does it become attractive? Because if you're working out every day, the people in the group will appreciate you more. If you're meditating every day, the people will appreciate you more, and that automatically makes the habit attractive because more people are doing it, and you know that they are doing it, and it makes it satisfying as well because you're in a community that's already doing those things. You want to be a part of it. That's our human nature. We need to understand our nature and we need to act according to it. We need to make it easy. Like if you're starting with journaling, do it 5 minutes per day. If you're starting with meditation, do it 5 minutes per day. But do it every single day. That's the most important thing. When you're doing it, you know what's happening in your brain, right? There are new neurons, they're firing together, they're wiring together, and there's new bridges being built. Do it for 66 days. Like increase the time, you like bit by bit. Start small. The thing is, you can't build in a Rome in a one day. Like that's the saying. You can't do anything in one day. You need to keep doing it continuously till you get it right. Like, and then there's so much scope for improvement, right? After once you establish the habit, first of all, take 2 months of time and you establish one really important habit. And these habits, whatever I'm talking, usually I'm mentioning gym, yoga, meditation, journaling. They will be lifelong habits. They are not something you can stop anytime soon. You'll keep doing them every single day for the rest of your life. So that's how important those habits are. Like that's how powerful those habits are. And in 10 years time, this will pay you off. Like this will give you satisfaction. These habits will improve your life more than anything in the world. Like if you can do four of these habits, I'll talk about the keystone habits in some other lecture. But if you can do those 4 habits properly, you will be much happier, much satisfied, much fulfilled, much healthier. And yeah, that's about it. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Yeah, that pretty much clear, I guess.
Hmm. Anything else you want to talk about? Any questions?
Yeah, I want to talk about, like you said, right? There is a phase of while we're starting a new habit,
Mm-hmm.
there is a phase of disappointment. So
Valley of
how to?
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
to overcome that? You
yeah.
reinforce yourself. See, you reinforce your identity. You keep showing up, even though it's not working out. You keep showing up, and you can ask for encouragement. You can talk to your friends. Yeah, I totally forgot about it. Accountability partner. That's where it comes. Like, thanks for asking the question. I totally forgot talking about accountability
Mm,
partner.
yeah,
Happens is
that's
when you
okay.
have someone, yeah, what happens is when
Mm,
you have someone who's keeping you accountable. If you want to start a habit, start it with a friend who will keep you accountable. Like, you push each other, right? Like, what happened is I have to write answers for my civils preparation, so I created a group of 5 members, and I told them, push me if I'm not writing. Every single day I have to write one answer. And I told them the same, because every single person wants to do the same habit. We created the group for answer writing. And what happens is
mm,
one person is posting it. Now I really want to write it. Like, even though I was totally like having the
mm,
resistance, I'm feeling disappointed, my answers are not good enough, but have to do it. So if that person is doing it and keeping me accountable, if he's asking, bro, why haven't you posted the answer today? And
yeah,
that will be, yeah, that will be like, oh, I have to do it. Like, there's no way. I don't want to get into the situation. Like, why should I? Someone ask me, like, why
yeah.
should I? Like, yeah, that's how we work, right?
Yes,
You don't want
yes.
to be accountable. You don't want to be,
Yeah,
but you have to be.
yeah. I get it.
So yeah, that's how this thing will work. You can get over the disappointment when you have this kind of support. I mean, it's in a good way he's poking you, like she's poking you, someone else, whatever your friend is like keeping you accountable. So accountability
Mm,
partner, yeah,
mm,
that will help you, I guess. And other things, especially the things like you can track things and everything I spoke. You can understand your mind when you know that you're going to be disappointed. It's easier, right? When you're aware of the thing. Like, if you don't
mm.
know that you will be disappointed, then you will be really thinking, is this something wrong going on with me? But if you already know this is going to be disappointing, you won't be so much worried about it. You'll just keep going on,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'll stop.